feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride no
Oh, they actually let me open it. Pause. So this is Kanye West. Kanye West actually tweeted, I don't give a fuck about what you've learned and retained from textbooks. What? They hide his post, so I can't see everything. I thought he apologized to Drake. He did. All right, let me just go to Instagram. Kanye's posts are heavily censored, and I guess that's a way that Elon Musk is staying on his good side. You know, Elon Musk is staying on Kanye's good side by not suspending him, but heavily reducing the viewership of it, where it's almost impossible for you to find some of these tweets that people say are problematic. And I think Elon does care about Kanye's opinion of him because he's not doing anything to fuck with Kanye that Kanye could lash out at him, right? So these are the tweets. So Kanye says, I saw a video of Drake walking through his house and showing he had a library of rhyme books. And man, I wish I could have seen and remembered this when my jealousy overtook me. I love Drake. I'm going to say this. When I die, I need you to speak at my funeral. There's another, I thought there was another clip or another tweet. My bad. So anyway, he basically said jealousy overtook him. And that's why he felt like that about Drake. And he apologized to Drake. He's just like, yo, I'm sorry. I want you, you know, I love you and I want you to speak at his funeral whenever he dies. Obviously, I look at this and I'm like, yo, we've all known Kanye's jealousy of Drake, right? Kanye, back in a Kanye interview, Breakfast Club, Drake. He mentioned Drake in like this old ass interview. Let me see if I can bring it up. Let's see. I think it was here. Was it this? And he was just talking about how this is before Drake started dissing him about, like, you know, him going into fashion. And hey, how can I find it? Let me go to YouTube with it. The point is this. Kanye has always had this, like, animosity for Drake. And it's kind of interesting and odd because I believe that Kanye has always been the person to compete. But with Drake, I felt like he tried to compete and he felt like he just couldn't keep up. And rather than keep competing, he just started hating. I think this is, he talks about
Drake.
A
nice guy. Right. And also, I felt like, and we're going to like,
but you can do it on your own. You got to
show you that this is the Hunger Games.
Hold on.
The president of Fade.
That I ain't at live like Drake every week. And when I hear language, I'm like, man.
Okay, this is where it is. You know, I've had this conversation with some people. I won't say who. But when they had basically expressed to me, like, some of these people who have issues with them, it's not necessarily that Drake fucked their wives or the love of their life. It was just that what Drake embodies, and even that hating ass nigga Ebro, when he says Drake is a sickness, Drake embodies something that sometimes these guys don't or probably haven't done in a while. Like, even with Kanye speaking about Drake here, he's speaking about Drake living this almost like lifestyle of hitting the clubs, doing this and third, which, by the way, he could do, but that's not Ye. And I don't know if I'm explaining it right. But let me. I think I have a better way to say it. I think a lot of jealousy that comes for Drake, and I actually will include Kendrick from this. I include even Meek Mill for this. I think for artists, they were very happy to see Drake get exposed for ghostwriting, because the way how you see probably a Kendrick that toil over creating material and creating top tier work, you can't do everything. If you're gonna be that guy creating that type of material work, you can't be the guy in the club all the time. You can't be the guy who's fucking all the hottest girls. You can't be the guy who's at the courtside at every game. You got to lock in. You got to put focus to it. And there's a lot of people who I think they've watched Drake kind of like live like this life, and they're like, he's cheating the game. it's crazy that he's getting so much props, but he's cheating the fucking game. Like, he doesn't have to fucking sit here and work on a project in some random studio just day in, day out, looking scruffy. He's constantly in the clubs. He's constantly doing these things. And shit, we look inferior to him, so let's expose him. So we're going to let people know he's getting help on his songs. That's why he could do all these things. Because, like, the idea of, like, ghostwriters might seem for some people who are purists, like, what the fuck? Like, why can't you just create yourself? But then you realize that, number one, artists do run out of ideas. They do get creativity block. And then when you get to the point, like, to be the guy, and I was saying this about Kendrick before, right? When people are now talking about what it is to be the guy, and everything that Kendrick in Euphoria said he hated about Drake, for him to fully be that guy, you can't pop out once a year. That's not going to work. The hip-hop audience have an insatiable appetite towards content and towards seeing the people they like. They don't want to see their number one rapper twice a year. They want to see that person living a real life. They want to see that person, like, whether subconsciously or not, being with the baddest chicks, especially if their music is like that. Their music is about that, right? And when you think about all these other artists, like Kendrick Lamar, like, do you ever see Kendrick popping up to courtside games? He's married already, or not married, but he's in a relationship. He's not gonna be with a hot, like, he's not. I think that that's a prototypical point of, if you're trying to be this overexposed mainstream type of lit person that also makes the best music. I think that's where some of the jealousy comes from. And that's where I think you hear Kanye, who I believe is just one of the most honest people. And yes, he's jealous, but anything that Kanye says about Drake, I think Kendrick feels the same. I feel Kendrick has felt, look at this guy. He gets to parade around as this and third and masquerade as that, but he's not as pure as an artist as me. Look at all the shots that Kendrick used to take at Drake. It was always kind of like trying to separate himself from Drake, saying, no, I'm the realer person. No, you both rap really good. Whether you like Kendrick Lamar as a rapper or Drake more as a rapper, like, they're like 1 and 1A. They're really close in terms of ability. And if anybody here thinks it's night and day in between Drake rapping and Kendrick rapping, all right, you're just a dick rider on either side. But they're really close. But what's not close is all the other things that get done while still being that guy. It's like, imagine a guy, like, imagine the Olympics, and Usain Bolt, who's like the best runner, was also the best at pole vaulting. He was the best at the shit where they go like this and throw it. He was the best at hurdles. He was the best at other shit. And then after a while, you're like, you kind of feel away, because not only is he competing with you at what you're best at, he's competing with other people at what they're best at. You start feeling like, well, I look lesser. I look way more lesser than this nigga if there's not an explanation of what he does or why he's doing other shit compared to me, right? And I think Kanye is more honest. That's why, again, let's listen to Kanye.
Language, I'm like, man.
2013, by the way. Let me play the one from 2015 when he came back up there. This is right after Pablo. He's talking about Drake. Let's find
The other day, like, I went to dinner and sat down with Taylor Swift, right? And ironically, they were like playing the Beck album. I think so.
Rights of rich people.
Yeah, I think it's the rights of everyone. I like the two things at once. Mm-hmm. I like the physical attraction.
Amber said Kim was sending you naked pictures while y'all was together, though.
The Any magazine cover. He had all type of ideas in there. Like, Dame is like 6 hours a day. Mm-hmm. And it's funny is because when I first sat with Tiger, like me and Vert before, it's the youth and the OGs have to come together.
I also saw you say when you was at the backstage at the Grammys, you said you didn't want to speak too much because you didn't want to jeopardize your clothing line. But a lot of people don't like.
It's just a beautiful story about a beautiful soul that's very. Oh yeah, we definitely, yeah. I'm always gonna, talk about, what's going on, like Marvin Gaye would say. It's definitely gonna be in there.
How much of this album is?
This is a barbershop question. Does Beyonce and Kim have a problem?
It happening.
Well, I'm trying to
Holding me down when I'm in New York. I'm doing a rap group. But, you know, we all owe hip hop. And I believe that I do have the ability, that I believe that I'm going to be the head of the first $1 trillion company. And 100%, when I get to that point, you know what I'm saying?
So you did name your daughter after Nori.
No.
Humble. And now you're just like humble as can be.
My heart of exactly. By the way, my opinion from some.
So I think it's the wrong interview. It was a Kanye interview. He was talking about wolves. Kanye interview wolves Drake. He was talking about wolves. I remember that. I don't know if I can find it, but he was kind of really honest. He was just like, "Yo, this guy Drake at this moment is doing some shit that I don't know if I can find it. I probably can't find it."
Jay and Chloe, take the E look.
Yeah, I probably can't find it. Anyway, like, again, there's something about, and I think I've said this before, and people are like, yo, Ak, you're wilding. And it's like, no, it's not. Like, these guys are saying it themselves. Like, they all have money. They all have this fame. They're all talented in their own way. But I do think there is a few things about, like, Drake's run, or just Drake himself, that do have people feeling slightly jealous. You get what I'm saying? You know, it's a reason why Kanye was, you know, rapping about, you know, having the biggest pool, and, you know, that was like a competition with him and Drake for a bit. And he's at least honest with his jealousy. He's like, I saw a video of Drake walking through his house showing off he had a library of rhyme books. Man, I wish I could have seen and remembered this when my jealousy overtook me. I'm trying to find that. Maybe we could find it through, did I see a documentary that says why Kanye hates Drake? Let's see if we can find it. Okay. All right.
Crowds, if they were ready for this album.
Music, like just trying to like
burning and
shout out to Trap Lore.
It's okay.
it's rumored to be
Because I told you that if I wasn't in a medicated state, I might have had the thoughts to, I might have thought.
Okay, it's back here.
And the album is called Wolves.
Oh, this
yeah,
was,
so,
yeah, it was that.
And that's what happened. Me and Jay started talking about Watch the Throne, and Drake went and did all the records with Wayne and did the tour, and we never did it. But I just went out and put it in the ether. I put it out in the world. Yeah, I asked him, and we talked about it, and he said, yeah, we was gonna do it. And actually, you know, he was sending beats back and forth. You know, I got this one record with Young Thug that I think we're gonna put on Rihanna album.
And not long after that, Kanye admitted in another interview that he felt Drake was a good sparring partner.
I look at Drake as like an amazing sparring partner. You know, someone's like, come on, man, get back up.
No, it's so interesting too. Like, if we really go back in this, I know Trap Lord is gonna have it. Like, there's some studio footage of like Drake and Kanye, where like Drake is kind of like fawning over Kanye for like acceptance. And I don't know when that moment where Kanye felt like Drake passed him, but at first Drake, I think Kanye was like, all right, that's like my equal. And maybe that was still tough because Drake used to look up to Kanye. But the moment that Kanye felt that Drake passed him, it was like a moment that was eating at him, but just eating at him about maybe his own inadequacies. You get what I'm saying?
It was too big, it's scary. It's like, I was fine with, you know, writing Find Your Love with Drake on his first thing until he got too big. And that was the moment where I had to adjust and deal with this new energy.
And perhaps this is why Kanye got on the defensive. Following this, we saw...
Again, I respect Kanye much more than Kendrick, at least with this one thing. If you think that Kendrick had no jealousy for Drake and this was purely competition, you gotta be an idiot, right? There was some jealousy there, right? And by the way, I'm not saying jealousy is bad, because jealousy is part of human nature. But Kanye's at least very expressive, and he says exactly what he's feeling. Even if you're like, yo, that's some bitch ass shit, he's gonna be honest about it.
Or a snippet of the classic Kanye song, All of the Lights.
Somebody says Drake never passed Kanye. Now, I think Kanye is the greatest hip hop artist of all time, right? So don't get me wrong with that. But even though Drake's a way better rapper than he's ever been. But I think Kanye passed Drake. No, Drake passed Kanye in terms of taking the throne of being the hottest. And he did that around the time where Kanye was experimenting a lot. Like, by the time 2012 comes around, Drake is the hottest thing on earth. Drake is hotter than Kanye. 2013 comes around. What did we get 2013? I forgot what album he gives us. Is it Yeezus? I know we get Life of Pablo maybe 2015 or 2016 or 17. Like, but the point is this. There was a moment where culturally and just musically, Drake was the guy. And like he passed everybody.
With a performance from Drake, but unusually, he ended up being removed from the final song. Now, apparently Drake said that he didn't really feel any type of way about this.
What I wanted to ask you about was all the lights. Like, we had heard a leak of it and you were on the record, and then the final came out and you weren't on it. Do you know why you weren't on the final version, and do you feel a way about it?
No, I mean, Kanye's creative process is ever changing. You know, I mean, he's one of those guys. We make music differently. You know, I make what comes to me, and I hate changing it, you know, whereas Ye'll change something 30 or 40 times to get it perfect. And I mean, it to each their own. And you know, the change was to put all those people on it, and I wasn't one of them. That's, you know, it's completely okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, from this point on, Drake stopped seeing Kanye West as a mentor or an idol. He felt he had learned what he needed, and he began to see Kanye as competition. And so with that in mind, Drake begins his quest to try and surpass Kanye West in every single way. In September 2010, Drake is seen leaving a nightclub with Kanye's ex-girlfriend Amber Rose. But if Drake is Mr. Steal Your Girl, Kanye is Mr. Steal Your Project. Because in 2010, we saw Drake in
Drake fuck Amber Rose? Yo, Drake, you a dog, man.
2 interviews with my uncle, Tim Westwood. Firstly, one where he discusses the prospects of a potential joint album with Lil Wayne.
Talking about me and Wayne. Exactly.
But the next time that Drizzy checked in with the...
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm unsure where... Yo, chat, should we talk about Drake and Wayne's like relationship at this point? I'm unsure where their relationship is, or if it's changed at all. I don't know. Maybe they're fine. I just noticed that notoriously they feel separated. Of course, Wayne was upset about him not getting the Super Bowl nod, and subsequently then came back around and said, "Oh no, I respect Kendrick and we talked." And I'm like, wait, hold on, ain't you Drake's mans? Like, nigga, fuck that nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure if Yachty was just like, yeah, me and Kendrick got on the phone, I think Drake would be like, all right, I'm cutting you off, dude. I don't know. Like, I haven't seen, like, we've seen Louisiana Fest recently. I remember when Drake was on Stake during, like, one of these concerts that Wayne had. That was, like, some reunion shit. And I was like, damn, Drake, you could have went to go support your mans. And I don't know. I haven't seen them really, like, obviously, I definitely haven't seen them say nothing bad about each other. And I still think I've seen a couple comments where Drake is bigging him up, you know. But it's kind of like interesting and odd that we don't. I don't know. Maybe I'm expecting too much. Like, I genuinely don't know if their relationship has changed or has just remained the same. And we, you know, the reason why I'm saying I don't know is because Wayne's also on his own planet. Who knows? Maybe Wayne's like, what the fuck is going on? Somebody said Wayne's still cool with Drake. No, I'm not saying they're not cool. I'm just one. It feels like I just haven't seen even the OVO. Like, I've seen Nicki kind of support Drake. I just haven't seen. I don't know. But again, Wayne be in his own world. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. Yeah, I'm probably making. All right, you're right. I'm probably making something. I'm probably making nothing out of something, right? Or something out of nothing, right? And someone was like, "Yo, Drake, Wayne is his profile picture." That is true. Yeah. Why haven't he popped out with Wayne though, man? Like, right now would be a good time for a good nostalgia tour. Chat, let me ask y'all a question. If we're seeing about all these fake friends that Drake had, wouldn't it be the best time right now for Drake to do a tour? Which I think could be a stadium tour. Drake, Nicki Wayne. Wow. Drake, Nicki Wayne, stadium tour. Chat, is that not sold out everywhere? Drake, Nicki Wayne. I still think we need that tour. Drake, Nicki Wayne. That would be crazy. I'm actually surprised that I haven't seen Drake more lean to the Cash Money OVO shit a little bit more. Because a lot of people, I think even Nicki kind of like subliminally said this, like, yo, Drake, what you're saying now, I've been saying to these niggas. These niggas is suppressing shit. These niggas is botting shit. I've been saying that. People call me crazy, saying the barbs, blah, blah. Now you're saying it too. Sometimes when you got fake friends, anytime you find out you got some fake friends, you usually get closer to family. I don't know. I feel like I want to see Drake, Wayne, Nicki a little bit. Anyway.
Big Dog Pitbull, he hinted that perhaps Jay-Z and Kanye West might have pinched that idea from him and Weezy, referring to the upcoming joint album Watch the Throne.
You know that we still gotta do that album.
Yes, you still got to do
I heard
that
some
album.
other guys are coming out with an album too. There's 2 other guys that are coming out together. 2 other rappers that are coming out with an album together. I don't know where they got that idea, but
I'm very slow. Could you just break it down a bit simpler for me, please?
I caught wind of it through the grapevine. It was like some other album coming out with 2 guys that are rapping on it.
Can anybody help me around the store, please? Oh, those 2.
So we'll see how that
goes. You mean the older guys?
Oh, I didn't say that.
I did.
They look young to me. in their movements and whatnot.
Yes, they keep it flexible.
Yes.
So, in 2011, the competitive land dropped. October 20th, now
There's been a lot of rappers that came in the game that wasn't able to do something like this for their city.
Kanye actually went on to give Drake credit, saying that him and Jay-Z would have never made Watch the Throne if it wasn't for Drizzy putting. And many people at the time, Drake spoke hopes that they get to Watch the Throne, friends with Kanye.
I'm trying to look for that moment that we could see like things switch, because there's a time Kanye's complimentary, but it looks like that relationship is kind of like, like Kanye's still Kanye. Not saying he was never Kanye, but I'm looking for that moment where we could see where Kanye's saying he was overcome with jealousy.
For
real.
Okay, yeah,
because he was competitive.
And I need
talking about being mad that Kanye wouldn't give him beats anymore because he was competitive.
And Kanye. I can't talk about that. I ain't playing with my emotions, man. I ain't gonna piss me off, man, for real. That phone call you just had pissed me off. What? The fact that nigga wanted to remix National Attack, but he told me some whole other shit the other day about he can't, more beats for my album and something like that because he's too busy. Oh, they about to go get it. That shit pissed me off.
We don't need that. Don't feel like you need that just because they are the guys and they are.
But you know that's not why I feel that way. If he wasn't working on his own project right now and had it and found it in himself to give me what he knows he should give me, you know those would probably be some of the biggest records on the album.
They not gonna give it to you. They not gonna let you breathe. He coming out of the album. He don't want you to live. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is a competition. This is here. We love each other than that. But you felt it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
you felt it. You felt it. He's just out there admitting, look.
I love him. He's an idol to me.
You know what I'm saying? It's competition though. It's competition. It's his ego. It's competition.
Meanwhile, what year is this? Because it looks like things start getting a little bit hazy, and it feels like, it became yo. This is my man Drake. To all right, I'm competing with him, and I'm trying to get the one up on him.
Kanye was ranting on stage, referencing Drake's earlier interviews, suggesting that magazines had been trying to pit them against each other. But overall, still trying to be positive.
You keep on talking about Drake and shit, and I'm gonna tell you what it is in the magazines. They always been trying to pit niggas against each other, and that ain't going down no more.
And by February 2015, it seems like they're back on good terms. Drake brought Kanye out to a show at Irving Plaza, where apparently Kanye gave him shoes. And then a week later in his Breakfast Club interview, Kanye said that the idea for the song Wolves actually came from Drake, and that at one point that was actually the title of their joint album.
The Wolves song came from a conversation that me and Drake had where we was gonna do an album together, and the album is called Wolves. Yeah, so and that's what happened. Me and Jay started talking about Watch the Throne, and Drake went and did all the records with Wayne and did the tour, and we never did it. But I just went out and put it in the ether. I put it out in the world. Yeah, I asked him, and we talked about it, and he said, yeah, we was gonna do it. And actually, he was sending beats back and forth, You know, I got this one record with Young Thug that I think we're gonna put on Rihanna album.
And not long after that, Kanye admitted in another interview that he felt Drake was a good sparring partner.
I look at Drake as like an amazing sparring partner. You know, someone's like, come on, man, get back up. Bow, get back up. What's up? What's up, bro? What you doing? Because, you know, you sit there, I was sitting there getting fat, you know, sitting back, just knocked everybody out. And then this guy hits the gym, he's just like running around like, bah, 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 14 hits. Same as Paul McCartney, bow, you know. I'm like, well, okay, let me go to the studio then. Let's see what's happening. Let me get these lyrics up. Let me see what's happening. So that's where you're at right now. That's where you're getting these records from.
So clearly they remained on good terms throughout mid-2015. They were seen partying together at Hot 97's birthday bash in Atlanta. And in June, probably the only time we're gonna see some positive beef popping off between Drake and Kanye, Ye even appeared to be manning the grill at Drake's pool party. I heard Kanye's the most controlling barbecue chef since XXXTentacion. Anywho, Kanye returned to Drake's OVO Fest in 2015, seemingly on good terms. But then out of nowhere, on December 31st, 2015, Kanye drops the track Facts, a song where he celebrates getting his Adidas deal and dropping a lyric where he says that if Nike didn't have Drizzy, they would have nothing. Ironically following that up with another line saying that if Nike didn't have Don C, they would also have nothing. Which is it, Kanye? No, you know what, Kanye, you're actually right. If Nike didn't have Drake, Don C, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Rafael Nadal, Derek Jeter, LeBron James, Maria Sharapova, and Cristiano Ronaldo, they wouldn't have nothing. But anyway, all of this endorsement shaming had Drake moving like Drizzy Keemstar. Because a few weeks later, Drake popped off publicly, dropping his 2016 anthem Summer 16, which of course featured the iconic line, "Now I got a house in LA and I got a bigger pool than Ye. And look man, Ye's pool is nice, mine's just big is what I'm saying." A fact which was even confirmed by internet sleuths. But of course Kanye West, the ever mature man, had a very level-headed response when somebody pressed him on the size of his pool.
They ask you this, and keep this 1,000 with me, Kanye. Is Drake's pool really bigger than yours, Kanye?
I have 3 pools.
All right.
That's it. That's my.
Oh, that's it. Oh, I got you. Okay, 3 pools, ladies and gentlemen. The man.
That's dick riding. Yo, this is dick riding to an extreme level.
Kanye said he got 3 pools.
Exactly, Kanye. I actually said the same thing to my ex-girlfriend. It's not the size that matters, it's how many homies you can tap in, am I right? No? Okay. But anyway, if that wasn't enough Kanye compensating for you, only a week later did the media discover that Kanye had set plans into motion to build an enormous lake in the yard of his house, hopefully big enough for him to swim in all of his insecurities. You literally can't make this shit up, can you? So on the 14th of February, Kanye dropped The Life of Pablo. And it turned out that Drake actually worked as a ghostwriter on the tracks 40 Hours and Facts. Ironically, the same song that was
This is where I think shit changed right here.
roasting Drake's Nike deal. And it's actually a month after that that the full version of Wolves featuring Drake actually ends up leaking. At this point, we can see they're still working together. So pool envy aside, they probably are on good terms. And those good terms seem solidified in April 2016 when Drake releases the song Pop Style featuring The Throne. In this case, The Throne of course being Jay-Z and Kanye West on the same song a la The Throne. But when this song eventually released on Drake's album, both Kanye and Jay-Z's verses had been removed, leading many to speculate that beef was a front. Kanye actually cleared things up himself in an onstage rant, suggesting that it was actually him and Jay-Z's decision to get off of the song, which they did out of respect to Meek Mill, who Drake had been beefing with at the time.
Then Jay thought about it out of respect for Meek Mill, so he didn't want to be on the track. I wasn't on this song for the hoe. Because it's a title apple bullshit.
And Drake eventually clarified that there was no hard feelings for what went down over that song, as we saw in an interview with Zane Lowe.
Jay and Kanye are on it or are not on it?
I just ended up going with my version of that song. Really, I just was trying to get Ye on it at first, and Ye just sent it to me like that, like, yo, Jay kind of just did my first few lines for me, and he was just here, and that's how we, flexed it.
And funnily enough, it was this same Zane Lowe interview where more questions.
Yo, Mr. Chronicles, I agree with you. I think Drake I definitely think Drake on All the Lights was fire too.
Were asked about those swimming pool jams directed at Kanye.
How fucking big is Kanye's pool? That's the big question. And how big does a pool have to be these days in order for it to get a name check in a record?
That was really just like some friendly neighbor bars. Me and Kanye, I take pride in being Kanye's neighbor. I take pride in our little community of Calabasas, and it was just me poking fun at living up the street from him, and never any disrespect intended. It was supposed to make people laugh.
Pools,
yeah,
man. Come on, how deep are we gonna go?
Yeah,
here?
exactly. Yeah, it's like
sounds like he has a nice pool.
pool. He has a phenomenal pool. He has a phenomenal house. Don't ever get it twisted. His pool is like, it's got to be like half a football field or something. But mine just
yours is a football field. Like,
well, mine was just designed to like outdo Hugh Hefner's pool, and I succeeded.
Seriously. And Drake even gave a little bit more juicy background info about their relationship, with Drake saying that sometimes they just turned up at each other's houses.
We live up the street from each other, so you know, on any given night, I mean, I've been in my room, like, just came from training, working out, and they've come in my room and been like, you know, Ye's in the kitchen with your mom. He says he's here to like work or whatever. So, or you know, vice versa. I'll pull up at his house and just see what he's doing.
Man, that is some Calabasas baller shit.
Oh nah, they had this competition going on. That's interesting. Really interesting.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go Knox.
Okay. Interesting. All right, chat. Okay, let's keep it going. What's Drake's IG again? His plot twist IG Drake. Oh yeah, this is his burner account.